the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, getting ready for USHRA Association Championship tractor pulling action. Kris Chapman is standing by with an up-close look at dragster tractor racing.
Multi-engine tractors are used in modified tractor pulling for tremendous horsepower. This is Paul Norman's War Wagon, which features a stacked 3-engine system. We're talking power. Strapping 2 airplane engines to the front of a tractor and using them to pull down the track can be a pretty dangerous situation. But Rick Rockefeller, the owner of the Policy Peddler, really doesn't worry too much about the potential danger. He owns his own insurance company. Rick, tell me why you're using 2 airplane engines on a tractor pull.
Well, to get the power that we need to compete with the automotive engine, with 4 to 6 motors, the automotive engine, 6 2 Allison motors to compete with them.
What goes through your mind is to sit up there and you know that you're sitting there with 2 airplane motors and all these other guys have really normal motors on the front of theirs when you're getting ready to go out to do your pull?
Well, our motors are a whole lot more temperamental, so you just hope everything's right with the motor and the fuel systems and to compete with them. The motors were built in 1930s and 40s.
Richard Rockefeller sits on the starting line checking everything from oil pressure gauges to temperature gauges to turbocharger boost gauges as he gets ready to make the first pull. 50,000 pounds of metal in tow for the twin Allison V12 aircraft engine-powered machine, the Policy Peddler. The handbrake and hand throttle being guided forward. And now, 6,000 horsepower is unleashed. Finally pulling back on the throttle to shut it down as the ground crew goes out for the first measurement of this competition. Now, as the first man out, Rockefeller has the option of accepting or declining this first pull, but it looks like he has given the signal that he will accept the first number. As the 50,000-pound weight transfer machine pulls back, the distance is read at 106 feet, 2 inches. 106 feet, 2 inches, now the mark to beat. From twin Allison aircraft engines, we go to twin supercharged 500 cubic inch Chevrolet rat motors. Kelly Davis at the machine called Running Bear backed up to the weight transfer machine. A myriad of different power plants in contention here at the USHRA Association event in Landover, Maryland. Everything from the Allison aircraft engines that we saw earlier to twin, triple, and quadruple automotive V8 engines. It should be an all-out war. The connecting chain now taut. Kelly Davis waits for the flagman to throw the green. It's up. Here's the Running Bear. And Davis will dig in well short of his goal. The biggest problem on that run came when the front end got airborne, and as should be quite obvious, you can't steer a machine when the front wheels are 3 feet in the air. Davis had to get out of the throttle to land the front end to keep steering the machine to keep it from going out of bounds, and that cost him the precious power that he needed. Robert Hutton's Clodhopper is up next, another tractor utilizing multiple Chevrolet engines. A pair of 540 cubic inch, fuel-injected, supercharged, methanol-burning Chevy rat motors for the Maryland machine. Hutton backs up to the weight transfer sled itself, where the sled operator awaits, ready to plug in the kill switch. Should the tractor become disconnected from the sled or the tow chain itself break, there's no chance of a stuck throttle on a runaway 4,000 horsepower machine indoors, as that plug will be pulled out of the back of the tractor, shutting down all electrical circuits, including the engine, before anything can happen. The mark to beat, 117 feet even, 4,000 Chevrolet horsepower ready. Hutton pumps the brake and now pressures the throttle. Takes that 50,000-pound mountain of metal literally down to almost the exact same mark where our leader put the pole. The distance for Robert Hutton's clodhopper, 119 feet 6 inches. He takes over the lead here at the Capitol Center. We've got more ground-pounding pullers coming up, including the jet-powered variety, and the showdown between the nation's toughest monster trucks, including last year's #2 driver, Jack Wilman in Taurus, and the defending world champ, Bret in the incredible Barefoot. Stay with us. We're back at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, as we continue in competition with one of the most diversified groups of pullers ever assembled. Here's a great case in point. The groundhog of Bob Kinzer is not utilizing a pair of aircraft engines or supercharged V8. As the ground crew connects the kill switch, they're connecting it to a tractor equipped with 3 440 cubic inch Chrysler wedge engines with carburetors and gasoline. It's a trade-off for high RPM as opposed to the low-end torque of the supercharged entries. A lot of smoke out of the back of the front engine, and obviously a serious drop in power right after that. A tough break for Kinzer. The official measurement coming up, but the Chrysler machine is apparently mortally wounded. The distance, 108 feet, 1 inch. The groundhog machine will head for the pit area. In direct contrast to 3 carbureted Chrysler engines, how about a 4,000 horsepower Westinghouse jet aircraft engine in a tractor? This is the machine called One to Go of longtime Maryland campaigner Gary Mills. You're looking at a helicopter turbine engine, driving power to the rear wheels, 4,000 horsepower out of one solitary power plant. Hooked and ready. He pulls the chain taut between the sled and the tractor and now lights the afterburner, literally igniting the air here at the Capitol Center. 22,000 RPM off the starting line. But it should be obvious that Mills has serious problems immediately. You can see the disappointment on his face as he is forced to shut the engine down as the ground crew disconnects the tractor from the sled. Apparently not quite enough power, or at least not enough RPM off the starting line for Mills. The distance only 68 feet even. Mills